I'm Thomas Swann. I'm a senior researcher at the Australia Institute. We're a Canberra-based independent policy think tank, and I'm studying the Master of Climate Change at the ANU. So I moved to Canberra from Sydney to study a Bachelor of Philosophy at the ANU. I did the PhD, as it is called, in philosophy, and that gave me an enormous opportunity to do research in philosophy, one-on-one engagement with academics. And through that study, I got really interested and concerned about sustainability and climate change. The ANU is really a world centre for climate change policy, science, politics research, and I became exposed to some of the best researchers in Australia and the world on these issues, and got really concerned, and that motivated me to dedicate more of my life, more of my work and my study to climate change. Climate change was an issue that I wanted to know more about, and I wanted to become a domain expert in. I wanted to be able to have an impact in policy debates and in the political arena on this, what is the most pressing issue of our time, I think. And so the Crawford School is well respected for having great research and great educational opportunities, and I certainly have learnt an awful lot about climate change in many respects, in terms of the science, in terms of policy design, economics, politics, and national security. So the Master of Climate Change gave me the opportunity to look at climate change in all its respects. So climate change affects all sorts of issues, all sorts of parts of society in really complicated ways. And the Master of Climate Change gave me the opportunity to look at all of these different interacting facets, the economics, the politics, national security, energy security, and to look at how climate change impacts on these domains and how these domains will be shaped by climate change into the future. The decision to do the Master of Climate Change was really shaped by my passion for climate change, my passion for having an impact on policy debates and the politics, the diabolical politics of climate change. And the Master of Climate Change at the Crawford School, the ANU, was a really good opportunity to learn about these policy debates and how I can have an impact. So the Master of Climate Change involves study in a wide range of areas, but there are relatively low prerequisites. It's accessible to people from a wide range of backgrounds, and that was really useful for me coming from a philosophy background. I know how to think critically and question things, but perhaps don't know a lot of the detail in, for example, mathematical economics. The economics courses I did as part of the Master of Climate Change gave me a broad understanding of the principles of economics behind climate change policy and economics more broadly. So one of the real benefits of doing the Master of Climate Change at the Crawford School is that it was really flexible. So in a typical day, I might go to work in the morning and then come to a seminar with Professor Frank Yotso or Stephen Howes on principles of climate economics. Then I might go to the computer lab and download some articles from the library, and print them out and read them, sit in the garden or sit at the cafe and read some articles. Then I might go to a conference or a lecture from a visiting academic or a dignitary or a diplomat talking about international principles or developments in the climate change debate. And I always used to try to ask them the most difficult question I could think of, which didn't always go down so well. My main objective in doing the Master of Climate Change is to have a broad range of knowledge across the different domains that climate change will impact, so that I can advocate for sensible policies to deal with this issue, but also to challenge the misleading claims put forward by vested interests. So the knowledge that I've gained in the Master of Climate Change has enabled me to go to government consultations and go head-to-head with the oil and gas industry to challenge the claims of the coal industry about their size in the Australian economy, and to show that renewable energy is plausible, cheap, and is the only way forward for Australia. My research has been published in newspapers, internationally and nationally. I've been on TV and radio interviews, and the research that I did and the study that I did here at the ANU and at the Crawford School has been really central to that. The knowledge that I've gained at the Crawford School through the Master of Climate Change really opens up a wide range of options for me. So I'm passionate about research and about communicating research effectively to have political impact. That's what we do at the Australia Institute, and I think that's a large part of what the Crawford School tries to do as well. Doing research and communicating it in a way that has impact on policy debates. So I'm looking forward to moving between academia, the public service potentially, the political world, and in the Australia Institute being kind of in between all those different worlds, facilitating knowledge transfer and also being able to challenge misleading claims that are unfortunately all too prevalent in the climate change space. There's too many things to list, but I'll try to. It was great to meet a wide range of people from all over the world and all over Australia with a wide range of expertise and backgrounds and passions. It's really excellent to have engagement with leading researchers on different parts of the climate change issue. I've forged really important connections and knowledge that I use day to day in my career.